All right, so here's the addendum to the modeling the solar system for rendering. Just going to go into it just a little bit. Not going to do anything crazy because the things that you could do with this, I mean, you could have animated textures on Jupiter with all the with everything swirling around. You could have the an atmosphere or clouds going around the Earth. I have the animation backward on a bunch of stuff that's just so when you render it out, it will only one side of the hemisphere will get light. So, but it doesn't really matter because we're just trying to show how to set stuff up, how to render it, etc. So I already showed in the last one how to do a play blast, and that's super easy. Just oh well, it's a little bit out there. Just goes basically like that, and you can render it out. It looks pretty. Wow, amazing. But there's other things you can do in terms of rendering. For instance, if we go into the Arnold renderer and you turn it on, everything looks black. Oh, dang it. So let's not do that. What we want to do is we're going to put a single light in the whole scene. So we go to lights, we go to point light, and we're going to leave it right in the center. Now, if we do use all lights, we have some neat stuff going on, but the sun isn't being lit. And if we were to render it out, we'd have issues because it would go through the sun itself would block the lights, block light going anywhere else. So in the simple renderer, it looks kind of neat, but that's not it wouldn't work the way we want it to work. So we're on the right path though. Also, if we went into Arnold, still we'd have nothing because it seems Arnold needs to have a lot more light in order to make anything show up. So first, what we need to do is we need to change some of these textures. So let's see here. Before we do that, we're going to first change the sun. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that the sun geometry, the light goes straight through it. So what we do is we go into, let's see, my little notes, sun shape, and attributes, render stats. Here we are. So we go in here. So we don't want it to cast shadows, and we don't want it to receive shadows. So it should go straight through. All right. Do 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 do. I don't even know if we need that. Okay. So we have that. Now, after we have changed that, so receive shadows. Okay. And then let's make sure that our shader for our sun, it needs to be self-illuminated. So if I go to graph, input output connections, we have to change the incandescence to be its own texture. And that will make it so that it glows by itself. So file, and then we go over here to image name, and then we go over to solar system textures, and then we go to sun. There we are, 2K sun. All right, so now the sun itself is going to glow. So if we use all lights, now the sun itself is glowing. So that's pretty cool. There's one thing. Now the other thing we want is we want the star field to glow. So we'll go in again over to the shader and oh, I guess I already, nope, that's the sun. I forgot to do that. Sky field. We need to go over here and change incandescence. Go over to that. Go over to here and say star field over there. And now the star field will glow. All right, so we're getting there. Now if we went into the renderer, the Arnold renderer, it still is really black. But if we click on the spotlight, change this, and we have to put it up super high. Let's try 200, see if that works. There we go. Oh, yes. So now things are starting to glow, but we're still having an issue with the sun in Arnold. It needs to be a different shader type. So let's go over here and remember that that was unusual. I'm going to change the shader type to a blend. All right, and I see our shader type is over here. So I'm going to go over, that's in the other attributes. And there's blend. Click on that, turn that on. Now the only, oh, that's our star field. We need to turn down specularity. So there we are. So that fixes issues with specularity. That's the star field that I changed to a blend. And that'll enable the star field to glow. Now we need to do the same for the sun. We're going to change that also to a blend over there. And we want to change down specularity. And then that should make it. We don't want any reflectiveness. We don't want any reflective, anything reflective on. Oh, I changed our star field name to something else. Let's change that over there. And then our sun got changed back when we changed the type. So that's weird. Let's change reflectiveness on the star field also. So there we go. Okay, so now when we look at the world with Arnold renderer, things are starting to look kind of cool. All right, definitely save that off. So if we were to go into render, now here's where you can find the renderer right up here. That'll bring up this render window, and it'll render the current window you have going by clicking on this one. And it'll just go with the default settings. So we have the Arnold renderer setting up. It's thinking about it. Thinking about it a little too long. There we go. Man, my laptop renders faster than this. So that's looking pretty cool there. Get some nice shadows going on. So what we do want to find out though is, will it cast shadows on other planets? Yes, it does look like it will. It's doing that right on Saturn. Whoa, what you doing there, buddy? Let's go back here. I don't know why that's acting weird. Oh, I know why, because the sun is so bright. Okay, let's save that guy out. All right, so now if we want to render out a certain part of this, let's do that. Let's hide that light for now. Well, it's just too bright. So we want to render something out. Oh, I know why. Over here, default lighting. Phew, that's crazy. So if we want to render something out, we could just render out like a little scene here. We could even, we could create a camera. Oh, a sad little one. And then let's start at like 500. So we go at like 500 is where our scene would be. And Just keyframe that location. Oh, no, we don't, because we want to look through where our camera is. So I'm going to bring the camera out. We're going to look through the camera. So in order to look through that camera, and I'm going to name it Solar System Cam. Then I go to Panels, Perspective, and then our solar system camera will exist. So we're at 500. We'll just click that. Now we can go to like 600, and then we'll just look around and be all heroic. So if we do that, looks pretty sweet. So that's what our little video would look like. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up to render, and then we'll render it, and then I'll talk about what it looks like after it's done rendering. So let's set it up. Go over here. Now in options, we go to render settings, and this is where there's a lot of settings that you have to be aware of. Since we're using the Arnold renderer, you want to make sure it's over there. And here, the image export, I'm just going to use regular JPEG. Just I'll go to like 80. And we're going to go from 500 to 600. So we're going to change. Going to change the camera to Solar System Camera. And we're going to change the extensions to the name, and then the number, and then the extension. And frame padding, just 1. You don't need a pad. What are you talking about? Start frame 500, end frame 600, by frame 1. We're good. Just HD 540. Scene assembly is good. Arnold renderer. Don't really need to change anything there. All right, so that looks good to me. Camera, no alpha channel, and good to go. So let's close that. Let's go back and find out where it's going to save. It's going to save on that D drive, Solar System Images. All right, I'm going to go to the D drive. I'm going to make sure that all of my that it has a location for it. We're going to Animation, Solar System, Images. All right, good. Okay, all set there. We will close that. And then we click on this guy right over here to render out a sequence. And start clicking on that, and we'll set it off. Oh, actually, cancel that. I think we're looking at the wrong one. You have to make sure that we're in the right one. Yeah, no, I think we are in the right one. I just want to double check. Yeah, I think that's a good one. All right, so after a quick little hiccup there, just wait for this to finish doing its thing. Whew, it's taking a long time. Okay, that's good. All right, so I'm going to render this out, and I'll be back in a second. All right, so here we go. We're on our last one. It's taking its good sweet time. So it's taken about an hour. And what we're left with is all of these guys. So these are all of the individual files. So now what you have to do is you have to put this into a video. And there's a lot of different ways of doing it. One way of doing it is bringing into After Effects, and another way is putting into Premiere. Probably the easiest way that a lot of people do it is they use a free program called SourceForge, and just load that little dude up. Where is it? Where is SourceForge? Oh, no, I said the wrong name. VirtuaDub. Virtual Dub. There we are. You get it off of SourceForge. So in order to find Virtual Dub, you just go search for Virtual Dub in SourceForge. That's what I was confusing with. And download it. And it's not even an installed program. It's just a standalone. So this is what it looks like here. So basically, we click File, Open Video File. We find the renders, and let's go to where are the renders on the X drive. We go to renders. There we are. There's all the renders. So we choose the first one. You'll notice down here, automatically load linked segments, open, and now it has the whole thing right there. And here is our video we made. So it's pretty short, and when you've done that, you save it out as an AVI. You can save it out. You could change the compression if you want. It'll probably be pretty big. Let's see. I'm going to put it over here in Classes, 3D Animation, Solar System. So this is a couple of other ones that I've outputted. And so it's doing that. And if we look at that guy, and outputted number 3. So that is 149 megabytes. And it'll play it. It's pretty nice. You could also go into, where's our thing there? VirtuaDub. All right. And change the compression. And I figure out the compression. So it's uncompressed there. So we could change it. Microsoft compression, put it down to 80. There. Okay. Save as AVI. And it's exporting it. And then let's look at the export here. Number 4. So there we go. It's a lot smaller. Just 15 megabytes. Still looks pretty good. You can still see some artifacts. All right, so that's what we've done here. We've gone from nothing to a rendered video of the solar system. I hope it was fun and you learned a whole hell of a lot. And thank you for watching.